So...
She's a princess.
If you didn't know, which everyone should know, Danny is a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts.
Huge fan! Oh my gosh, don't even get me started.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 is rumored to come out this year.
Better. 10 years in the making.
And so I said that once it's announced, because we think it's going to be the release date's going to be announced at E3, which is in a couple of weeks, or soon. I said that we should play through 1 and 2.
And I'm telling him that, well, I don't have the patience for 1 because I've played through that a million times.
But I haven't.
He doesn't realize how long it takes to get through it. I've actually never beat the first one on my own. It was that difficult to do.
And I'll be here to help you.
Well, if you're actually going to sit and play it, but like you say, together, you don't realize how much grinding time you have to do on that game. It's ridiculous.
I'll do the grinding.
Yes, but the thing is you don't know where to stop because you don't know where important cutscenes are going to be. So you can't let's say anyway. So I want to play the second one at least because it's been a while since I've played the second one. But I can give Jared the Reader's Digest version on the first one because first one is like one of those TV series where like nothing happens but like one little piece of information will happen and so you have to like watch every single episode. That's like the first one. So I could like summarize the first one for him. I could even show him cutscenes and stuff online. The second one, on the other hand, I do want to play through because there's a lot of story, there's a lot of fun gameplay in that, and it's also a lot quicker to go through and it's a lot shorter. Because there's a lot of side quests that aren't story related that you can kind of skip over.
So why is Alice a princess in this game?
Because the thing was in the first one, every world had most of the worlds, all the bigger worlds, kingdoms I should say, had a princess of heart. And for the Alice in Wonderland, the princesses of heart are Jasmine, Belle, Sleeping Beauty, Aurora, Kairi, Alice. There were 7.
Yes, there were 7 princesses of heart. Usually there's 7.
And then
Minnie Mouse?
No.
That's weird.
Well, their kingdom is... That's in the second game. Their kingdom is like... The kingdom that they're in is like shared with somebody else. Did I say Belle already?
Yes.
I did. Oh my god, who are the other 2?
Ariel?
No, actually, which irritated the crap out of me.
Are you saying that Alice is a princess of heart, but Ariel is not?
Ariel was not, because Ariel was a play-with character. She was a character that you could play with. And so she couldn't be a princess of heart.
Wow, so they're saying Ariel's not a princess, but Alice is.
No, Princess of Heart. Princess of Heart is different.
Sure.
It's different because the kingdoms were separated into 7 kingdoms. It's part of, you don't know the backstory, honey.
That's why I'm saying I gotta play number 1.
No, they don't explain it in the first one. They explain it in the second one. They brush over. It's like, in the first one, it's like, this is information that is important. Just accept it. We're not gonna explain it. The second one, it's like, okay, remember that information from the first one? Here's why this is the way that it is. Like the world called Hollow Bastion, was originally called something else, but it's the world that Beast ruled in. I cannot remember what it was called before, but they kind of hinted at it in Breath by Sleep. Like this is why it's like you gotta play almost all of the games to kind of get all the pieces together. And that's something that I discovered from watching the gameplay for the new game, is that there's a lot of information that is included from Birth by Sleep, and then the like 365 whatever day, and then Chain of Memories, and there's like a lot of stuff that's from all the different games that's included in this third game, which the lights just came on. He has not played. He's played a little bit of the first one.
I played a couple. I played a little bit at the beginning of the first one. I played the PSP one, that's the prequel with Ventus and Terra, because I had a PSP, and Aqua. And I've played a little bit of the one where you capture Heartless and make them your pets.
Yeah, I skipped over that one because it was too much like Pokemon.
Which one was it? I
don't even remember.
Was that Dream Drop Distance?
Yes, that was Dream Drop Distance.
Because it was 3D, because it was on the 3DS.
Which is funny because Birth by Sleep is it's like an important story, but it's connected to the like Kingdom Hearts 2, but unless you know have played Kingdom Hearts 2, you don't know how deeply connected it is. And the Dream Drop Distance was like here's a game we're going to give you just to keep you occupied, but now we're going to make it important by putting little things like that in episode 3. So, I don't know. We'll continue this conversation when we get back.
What's Organization 13?
We'll explain. We'll start with Organization 13 after we get food, because we're at Disney Springs and we're getting food. Do I have any more questions about Kingdom Hearts, babe?
Not that I can think of right now.
He asked me about Organization 13. What the heck is going on? So we came back, and there was a car literally like right behind our car dropping something off, and now...
Something. The people princess.
Well, no, she had something with it. Her.
It
had something with her.
You're really having trouble. It's like, you don't think of them as people, you're thinking of them as guests.
That's because that's what they are.
You're like, it was dropping something off. It being guest.
And smiled, and he went. I just had a moment with the security guard. Oh, that's like my favorite. Whether I'm like the guest interacting with a cast member, or I'm the cast member interacting with a guest. Like for me, it's always making people move all the way down. Like I'll be like, please move all the way down, please move all the way down, and then you have the one guest that decides not to move all the way down, or to ignore that you're yelling at them.
Doesn't move all the way down?
Yeah, after we moved like 500 people, they're like, no, I'm gonna sit in the middle. And so I'll be like, excuse me, can you please, like, and I always ask like really nicely the first couple of times, and then if you either put your hand up or thank you, you're so nice, or like you like look at me and then look away and then ignore me. I'm like, I typically do this. This is like, I'll be like, come here, please, and I go, and then I look at the guests, and then they just like shake their head, and I shake their head with them. And sometimes it's really funny. They'll actually be like, go get him, or I'll be like, I'm coming to get you, and then they'll laugh at me. That's what happened like yesterday. It happened. I'll be like, don't worry, I'll come to you, and they all just kind of cracked up. But I always, whenever I have to step over people that did what they're supposed to, I go, I am so sorry. Thank you so much for moving all the way down. Like as I'm like walking on top of them to get to like the 4 people that won't move down 15 seats because they're in the middle. Even though they're not.
The middle's not even that good of a seat. Isn't there a giant rock in the way?
In the middle? No. If you're sitting right in front of or in the general area of where the snowflake is, you're in a good spot. Which, mind you, that space is very large. There's very few bad seats in the Hyperion Theater. Some of them, yes, are in front of a rock, but it's like the far ends, like front ends. Those are the only really bad seats. Everything else that's like up and like kind of funneled from the middle is excelente.
That is a problem, though, that both me and you have, and I think everyone has, is we don't see them as people, we see them as guests.
No.
It's very hard, because literally, I remember when I was working in Fantasyland and I was doing greeter, I would just answer people's questions and send them on their way, and then someone stood in front of me, I would look directly at them, and they'll say my name, I'll look directly at them, and it literally took me multiple times
like when
of them saying...
you see someone you know?
Right. And you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're someone I know.
It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, hi, welcome everybody, hi, oh hi!
No, literally they came to me and said, Jared, it's me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is you, blah, blah, blah.
Now, that's also because most of the people that we know in Orlando are cast members or team members, so we're used to seeing them in their costume. We're not used to seeing them in like typically form-fitting clothes.
Oh no, this was people from Kentucky.
Oh.
It happened 3 times. It happened to one of my friends from high school who was there with his, I think then fiance, now wife.
Oh, Ray
family.
visited me today.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, it was funny because
he
was down there, he was only down here for a couple days.
It also happened to the family of someone who went to my church and was at our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And it also happened to someone else who went to my church who was not at our wedding. But every time I would literally look at them like directly at them, and then they'll talk to me, and then like halfway through the conversation I notice who they are.
Well, then there's your family, who I haven't met all of your family, and then they come to Disney, or family friends I should say, because your family, you have family and then family friends.
Yes.
And they'll come to Disney, and they'll come and they'll be like, "Hi, Danny," and I'm like, "Hi," because my name is on my name tag, and they're like, we're friends of your parents," and I'll be like, "Oh, hi." You know, I'm just like, yeah, my name's Danny. Viewers, you guys do that sometimes too. You'll come up and be like, "Hi, Danny," and I'm like, "Hi." I'm like, "We watched your vlogs." I'm like, "Oh, hi." Because it's like, my name is on
you're
me.
real people.
No, yeah.
I thought you were just drones that they send in to annoy us.
Well, it's like when, especially at least in my experience, with most of the guest interactions that I have, it's like a very quick interaction. It's
1
like,
sentence.
you know,
The line
"Hi,"
is this long.
you know, the line's this long, you know, "Hi, how can I help you?"
Restrooms that way.
Restrooms that way, or it's like me just waving at everyone coming in.
What ride is this? I don't know. Let me check.
All the way down. Like, I have very quick, because I'm not able to, the only time I'm able to have like a really good guest interaction is when the show isn't going on and I'm a greeter outside and they're asking me, "So, like, what do you suggest for this?" Or, "What time do you think we should get here because of such and such?" And which does happen, where I like have actual 5-10 minute conversations with guests, but it rarely ever happens. At least the majority of my guest I mean, considering every hour we load almost 1,000 people into that theater, most of my guest interactions are like 10 seconds.
Where does the slide go? Down the mountain.
So it's hard to not think of each person as a guest. Not that they're not a person, but it's like you don't acknowledge or think that every single person is like doing their own thing, you know, and having their own vacation, because if you do, then that's a lot of people to keep track of.
I mean, we meet thousands of people every day.
Exactly. And you can't, it's like, no offense to them, but it's like you can't think of every single person as an individual thing unless there's a guest issue. Then it's like, please let me help you so I don't get in trouble and you don't get mad at us, and we can
There has to be something that makes them stand out. Either they're nice, or they want to talk to you, or
or the complete opposite, or they're like a problem person.
Right. It has to be, or they come by a lot, and so you recognize. There has to be something that makes them stand out, because there are so many that eventually they just become colors.
Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We are now home, and we have to end this video now. Okay, bye.